Hello, everybody. I'm Lori Jo Vest with Pop Speed Digital Marketing LLC. And here with me is one of our other team members, Kylie Metcalf. And today we're here to talk to you about the repercussions of a digital marketing campaign. No, actually, we're here to talk to you about how digital marketing is about process. And if you start a digital marketing initiative and you're expecting results, you've got to make sure that your people, your team, your processes are ready to take up the inflow of either leads or customers or whatever it is that your marketing is equipped to do. So,
Yeah.
Kylie, I'm going to let you take over from here and tell us what we're going to talk about.
Yeah. So, as anybody would when they enter into a new marketing campaign or engagement with an agency, revamping their strategy, anything where you're looking to kind of like reintroduce marketing into your business, particularly digitally, you want results. That's the whole point. If there's no results, what's the point of entering the space, right? But, and we've seen this time and time again, what happens when your processes aren't prepared for the work surge that marketing, if it goes well, should lead to? The short answer is chaos.
Chaos.
And yep, and we've seen this a lot in engagements we've had previously in, people that we just kind of watch and follow on LinkedIn and things like that. So ultimately, what we tend to recommend, based on our experience, is making sure that your processes are airtight on the back end before entering into a digital marketing engagement. However, it's really important to note that that's something that we as an agency, and I think any, good agency, will collaborate with you on to help you get there, as opposed to just kind of taking your money, running with it, and knowing your processes aren't in order.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to consider, and we are going to talk about it all today.
Awesome. So here's one of the things I want to talk about because leads is at the top of this list.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that we see often is we see that we may be bringing in leads and there's no one on the other side to grab them and run with them.
Right.
And this statistic that I mean, I can't remember where I got it, but it makes a whole lot of sense to me. And it was that if a lead comes in, you are more likely to close it if you reconnect with that person off of social within 2 hours.
Yeah.
So if you have a lead gen form and you are not watching it and responding to those inquiries quickly, you're missing out. And it's actually a really common thing that we see. And part of it, I think, is that companies may not realize that marketing isn't coming in to solve your problems. They're
Right.
coming in to collaborate with you to get you more business.
Exactly.
So what can they expect when they start doing a digital marketing campaign, Kylie? You have this on the right side bullets.
Yeah.
But
So essentially, when you start engaging with a marketing agency or hire somebody, whatever that looks like for your brand, what success would look like is increased traffic to your business. Now, that all depends on what type of business you're running, right? So we've had experiences where the goal of our engagement with a company is to increase leads, contact submissions, volunteers, web traffic, online orders, in-store customers, bookings, events, donor
yeah,
sales, everything. So essentially, the short way to describe that is increased traffic, whether
yeah,
it's on foot, online, whatever that looks like.
yeah,
And the backside of that is making sure that your internal process, your team, and whoever is meant to handle this increased traffic is set up for success in doing it well, thoroughly, effectively, and in a way that will lead to conversion.
yes,
So it's important to pre-plan. That's pretty much the heart and soul of what we're talking about today, is pre-planning for the surge that a good marketing initiative will bring you. So before you invest, make sure that behind the scenes everything is a well-oiled machine. And to us, Lori, I don't know if you want to jump in here, because we've
sure,
kind of we've kind of found in engagements for us that, it's made clear that the leads that we're sending aren't being followed up on. We've had a lot of internal conversations about how we recommend this pre-planning happens. So
yes,
for us, this looks like training your staff to work under pressure, training your staff to work quickly, being agile, have expectations set and roles clearly defined. I know, Lori, you have a funny quote that this whole thing always reminds me of about who's watching the toddler swim.
Yes. Yes. If your family's at the lake and your extended family and everybody's watching the toddler, then nobody's watching the toddler, right?
Exactly.
So
And
is
leads are the
someone
same.
exactly, is there someone on your team that is trained and committed to respond to those new leads and inquiries?
Mm-hmm.
Because we see it everywhere. We just talked to one of our nonprofit organizations. We did a campaign for them with volunteers. And
Mm-hmm.
what we learned, and this we learned the lesson ourselves as well, is we moved their website. They had a WordPress managed site. We moved them off of to a new hosting package,
Mm-hmm.
not considering, because everything was so smooth, that the huge volunteer campaign we had done the month before would still be dripping in a lot of leads, and that maybe that would be a little hiccupy, because when you move a website, some of those
Right.
forms can be a little hiccupy, and we weren't building a new one. And we ended up having to handle all the leads by hand
Yeah.
because they were coming in, and the automation to get them back to the client hadn't been put in place yet.
Yeah.
So pay attention to those kinds of things. If you're going
Yeah.
to want to get leads, make sure that your website has a place for people to input their information,
Mm-hmm.
and that it's going all the way through. Do some tests. Do a test every single week.
Yeah.
Websites pick up sometimes, and you may find an update went through,
Mm-hmm.
and then those leads stopped going to that person who used to get the email, and now they're sitting in a pile on your website in a Excel spreadsheet or something.
Exactly.
It
I think
happens.
that's a good point too, because another example of it, and it's something that I think to us being in the space and spending every day on digital marketing platforms and in every sense, it seems easy to remember to us. Um, but take the time to go through
Yeah.
your website completely and totally and check every link and make sure everything's user friendly and it's set up in the best way possible, because nothing turns a lead away like a website that makes them burn too many mental calories.
Yeah.
If your CTA on LinkedIn says download this white paper on our website and it sends them just to the website and then they have to kind of dig for it, you
Yeah.
just want to make sure everything is very like simple, straightforward, concise, and easy for the lead,
Yes.
because I think we use the term mental calories quite often,
Yes.
and it's true because you have such a short window of time to really grip somebody and then have them convert, that it needs to be as smooth as possible. And a
Yes.
great way to do that before learning the hard way, after you've dumped dollars upon dollars into digital marketing, is to do it beforehand.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But,
And
oh, sorry.
collaborate.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, but you're not left alone.
Yeah.
So I think, kind of what we said earlier is that an agency that's really committed to an effort will want to collaborate with you on setting those processes up. So for us, this could look different depending on the type of client. I know right now, we're working with a client that is kind of different than anybody we've worked with before. So until we work out all of our hiccups, whether it's website related or social related, we're just not using ad spend dollars.
Yes.
So for us, that's a good way to collaborate. We're working out the process together as we go through it, and we'll really start putting money and effort towards generating that surge once we know everything on the back end is a well-oiled machine. So
Absolutely. Yes.
if your process isn't quite ready for what a successful digital marketing campaign can bring, we've got you. And
Yes.
we think really like a good agency should have your back in that too. So invest in the support, because at least in our case, I guess we shouldn't speak for every agency out there, we've seen it all at this point.
Yes.
So I think we're pretty well versed in what to consider before you take
Yes.
the leap into a
Well,
new effort.
and let me add another thing about collaboration that I think is really important is, again, marketing we can't just jump into your account and just start running it
Mm-hmm.
without collaboration with someone on your team, because social media done well is social media that includes a ton of input from the
Mm-hmm.
client and the people on the ground.
Yeah.
You know your customers really well. You're there for those really happy, joyful moments that will play well on social. You're there to offer that incentive to get the butt in the seat in the restaurant, to offer the coupon, to help us write a white paper or write that scientific white paper that's going to get people to share their information with you. Collaboration, if you have an agency and they don't want to collaborate, there's something wrong, because
Yeah.
collaboration is really where the magic happens. It's not in Trader Joe's in the vegetable aisle. It's in collaboration. That's where the
Yeah.
magic happens.
Yeah, absolutely. So, to kind of make all of this come together and make a little bit more sense, we wanted to provide an example. And this is a silly little example, but when you think about it, it's very plausible and could happen in real life.
Yes.
So, consider this. You have just opened a new chicken wing restaurant. You offer 57 different flavors and all kinds of fun, yummy, creative side dishes. And shortly after you open, a local TikTok influencer that posts foodie type content comes to your restaurant, loves your food, posts a video talking about how much they love your food, and it goes viral. That's great, right? You want the hype, you want new customers. That's what
Oh,
a
yeah.
foodie influencer is for. It's good news. But this creates an abrupt surge in restaurant visitors. So there's a line around the corner to try your food. If your processes are not in place, it could look a little something like your staff is panicking and they're not trained to handle all of this pressure. Orders are missing items because our staff is panicking. Your website maybe can't handle all of the online orders that are coming through. You maybe don't have enough inventory of all of your sauces that have now become the most popular. And there was maybe a promo code that you had your marketing agency run on Facebook and you forgot all about it. Customers are getting angry and impatient and not having the experience that the TikTok influencer published.
Yes.
Who knows? Will they try you again? Will they not? It's impossible to tell. So it's important to keep in mind that's just obviously one silly, goofy example. But when you think about it, if there's no process in mind, it's almost likely that at least one of those things will happen. And one of those things alone is a big deal if you're dealing with a surge in business.
Yeah.
So keep in mind as you enter a marketing effort that it's just a very small piece of the customer journey.
Yes.
The customer journey may start with digital marketing, but the lead and converting that lead is ultimately what's most important. So, as important as clicks and views are to us in what we do,
They are.
that's our job. Our job is to get you those clicks and views, but it's very far from where the job ends. Because again, marketing doesn't matter if it doesn't lead to conversions, right?
Yeah.
So, like I said, it's our job to suck in the leads, but in most cases, following up on them in a timely, effective, and way that makes a customer want to convert often falls internally.
Yep. And we can help with that too. I mean, we know
Mhm.
people that do Salesforce. We know people that can help you manage lists. We have a lot of tools that we can refer, tools and companies that we can refer to help clients handle it. Um, but we did this specifically today because we've seen so often that what we're doing isn't flowing through the company and turning into a purchase or a membership or a volunteer engagement.
Mhm.
And when it does, it's wonderful. When it does
Mhm.
happen, it's really good. So if you're going to spend money, get your house in order first. It's the most important thing we can tell you.
Yeah, exactly. So, just to kind of reiterate, our main point here is just that your process is the backbone, not just of your business, but of the marketing effort.
Yep.
So, whether that's collaborated with your marketing agency, your marketing director, whoever that may be, and the team and leadership, whoever, make sure those standards are set ahead of time and known. And we often say that perfect is the enemy of done. So, maybe not
Yeah.
perfected, but at least really adhered to.
Yeah, that's
um,
important.
Train your employees, set clear roles, make sure everybody knows exactly what's expected of them, and treat your customers well. This is it's another good example of something we didn't necessarily touch on here too much, but it's important that your online presence matches the experience in store.
Yeah.
So kind of setting that standard that the vibe you put out online is exactly what somebody's going to get when they visit, whether you're a restaurant, a clothing store, a beauty store,
Right.
whatever the case may be. And I think this picture does a good job of saying
Yes.
that you didn't come this far to just come this far. So yeah, so our main point today is really just to talk about that it's so important to do these things and set these standards before digital marketing is
Yeah.
launched.
Yeah.
So digital marketing is set up to go smoothly and not cause a ton of chaos, but also to maximize your ROI. So it's a win-win-win when it's done that way.
That's right. So if you're looking to fill that pipeline, we do that top of funnel awareness, building the proof, getting the lead. If
Mhm.
you're ready, please get in touch. We provide social media, SEO content for websites, website development and maintenance, and email marketing. And
Mhm.
those 4 services, when we've got those lined up for a client, we always see results. We always see leads, we see sales increases, we see, customers asking for things that they saw on social.
Mhm.
So it does work. So popspeeddigital.com is our website. Anything else to add before we move along, Kylie?
No, just process.
Right. That's right. And
Just
we're
driving
working on
it
the
in.
same thing, right? So every time we get to a client, we're
Exactly.
like, process. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's just a really important part of your digital marketing. So there you
Mhm.
go. That's today's not hot take, because we do those on Tuesdays again, but that's
Right.
today's bit of
Keep our
information
lives straight.
we wanted to share. And please get in touch if we can help you. Thank you.
Hi,
Bye bye.
everybody.